All right, so let me tell you who was more than not bad. He was exceptional. That's the great Carl Weathers, who passed away. Of course, we saw the news. I think it was on Friday, if I remember, or Saturday, whichever day it was. Just a heavyweight, to use a boxing term. But more than just Rocky. I mean, Action Jackson. John, you had the Adam Sandler.
Happy Gilmore, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was great in that. What, Chubbs,
exactly.
Yeah, Chubbs.
And this was a little surprising because we have seen him now recently with the Gronk thing, the kick thing in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. He was kind of like the Chubbs coach guy for that whole thing.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, certainly for us, it came out of nowhere.
We just recently have seen him.
I know.
Like keeping tabs on him.
I know.
Yeah.
Seltzer, you never did get him on the show.
Huge part of my life.
I knew that was coming.
This is the second person I've had on the list to try to get on the show that James has not been able to get.
I knew this was going to happen.
You can't ever fix that.
Yeah. Kirstie Alley has died, and also is Carl Weathers.
To honor Carl Weathers' memory, and you find a way to take a shot at me.
Well, of course I find a way to take a shot at you. But really what I want to do is honor Carl Weathers. Because, look, the main thing we know him for, obviously, is Apollo Creed. One of the great adversaries of all time, one of the great characters of all time. Sort of like Darth Vader, there's a turn at a certain point where now he's a good guy. Not that, let me be clear, not that Apollo was a bad guy in Rocky 1. He was just the adversary to Rocky. He was an incredible adversary, and he was in the mold of Muhammad Ali back then. If you remember the story of Rocky, Stallone sees the fight when Chuck Wepner fights Ali, and so then Stallone conceives this idea of Rocky, and obviously, we all know Carl Weathers is playing an Apollo-like sort of character with this tremendous personality, tremendous vocabulary, tremendous articulation. Entertainment, just all the stuff that Apollo Creed represented, the master of disaster. So a little tribute here, because let's go through the evolution of Apollo as a character in the Rocky saga. And of course, it was 4 movies for Apollo Creed, for Carl Weathers. Let's start in Rocky 1. This is when you first started kind of get to know who's this Apollo Creed guy. He and Rocky are announcing the fight, and they have this exchange during the announcement.
Apollo, how do you like the city of brotherly love?
Well, just being in Philadelphia makes me feel patriotic. Beautiful people in a beautiful city coming up to me on the street wishing me the best. I love my Philadelphia brothers, and I'm proud to be an American.
Apollo, why did you agree to fight a man who has virtually no chance of winning?
Look, if history proves one thing, American history proves that everybody's got a chance to win. Didn't you guys ever hear of Valley Forge or Bunker Hill? Huh?
And he's a great character. He's just and then of course, you find out in Rocky 2 the struggle of the now, still champ, but he's struggling with the fact that he barely beat Rock, and you get the concept of an athlete receiving hate mail.
Marianne, listen to this. You didn't beat nobody, and anybody who knows boxing knows the fight was fixed. This one came from London. You call yourself the champ, you're a fake. The fight was a fake. Go kill yourself.
Wouldn't you rather play with the children than read hate mail?
How much did you get to carry that bum for 15 rounds? You're a disgrace to your people.
Why can't you ignore it?
Are you serious?
Tonight throws the piece. So now he's starting to become a sympathetic figure.
That's a bad job by his wife there. Why can't you ignore it? Really bad acting, isn't it? It sounds bad.
I don't know. I thought
I didn't remember it being
she
so
got
bad.
replaced by Felicia Rashad when Creed got made.
Yeah, you're right.
She was out.
Well,
she
Felicia
died.
Rashad.
Oh, did she die?
Yeah, it's because she died.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Well, then there you go.
Yes.
All right, so let's get now to. So now he becomes
I take it back.
Sort of a sympathetic character to a certain extent, and of course, when Rock beats him, he congratulates Rock. But really, Rocky 3 is where the full evolution of Apollo is on display, because Rock is down after losing to Clubber Lang, and it's Apollo who steps in the absence of Mick, and it's Apollo who helps Rocky with one very specific thing.
I know your manager dying had you all messed up inside. But the truth is, you didn't look hungry. Now, when we fought, you had that eye of the tiger, man, the edge. And now you got to get it back. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning. You know what I mean? Maybe we could win it back together. Eye of the tiger, man.
He really is one of the more complex and fascinating characters. And of course, as played by Carl, I don't want to lose sight of the Carl Weathers thing. This isn't all just about Apollo Creed, but it's about how Carl Weathers brought forth Apollo Creed. phenomenal.
He was
phenomenal.
He was truly an athlete. Like, we know that
That's right.
he was an actual athlete. He played 2 years for the Los Angeles Raiders. He was a special teams guy, a linebacker. He could actually run. You know, a lot of times you see movies and it insults our intelligence as sports fans that we're supposed to actually believe that that's an athlete.
Well, the ultimate
Like,
example is
Rudy-
Wesley Snipes in White Men Can't Jump.
Oh, that
100%.
Couldn't play basketball.
It was the most
Great
ridiculous looking thing I've ever seen.
It's horrendous.
Yes.
Great.
Horrendous.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, the final.
This guy could run. This guy could move. And by the way, I feel like his coaching, his teaching has lodged into my brain. Like, I swear to you, like this, the Eye of the Tiger is real, man.
I know.
The Eye of the Tiger came into my life as a young athlete in like 3rd grade or 2nd grade, whatever it was. And I believed I had to have that. You know, like, there is no tomorrow, Rock. Like, yes, Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers, trained me as an athlete. I swear to you, I believed in what he preached.
That's great. Well, I'll say this. So my brothers, when they would come home from college or thereafter, they always used to, and they weren't like make fun of me guys. It wasn't like that, but not in a mean way. Let me put it this way. Not in a mean way. But they would say, John, that I had lost the eye of the tiger. Because, you know, when we were all younger, you know, they say I was, I don't know, like they thought I was kind of tough in the beginning. And then when in the end, it was just me and my mom and my sister, they would come home from college incredibly disappointed. Like, what happened to you, man? You know, like they didn't think
they're
wasn't enough.
messing with you.
They were messing with me. All right.
Messing with you big time.
One more with Carl Weathers, because then in Rocky IV, and it ends horrible for, you know, Apollo Creed, as we know. But we actually get to the point, I mean, it's full-fledged. The audience is rooting for Apollo.
I had to teach this young fellow to box, American style.
Oh, isn't Drago a little inexperienced to be in the same ring?
Well, you know, some folks got to learn the hard way.
No quick knockout prediction.
No, I'm not angry with him. See, I just want to show the whole world that Russia doesn't have all the best athletes.
Just an awesome character. And by the way, to bring it to, you know, off of specifically Apollo and to like the actual Carl Weathers, let's listen to Stallone, then we'll get right back to the phones, because Stallone paid great tribute to Carl Weathers over the weekend and focused, it was longer here, but here's a portion on Carl Weathers' role in Stallone's life, obviously within those movies.
I never could have accomplished what we did with Rocky without him. He was absolutely brilliant. His voice, his size, his power, his athletic ability, but more importantly, his heart, his soul. It's a horrible loss. And I'm standing here in front of this painting because it was probably the last moment we were ever in the ring together, and I'll never forget it. He was magic. And I was so fortunate to be part of his life. So, Apollo, keep punching.
All right, there it is. So God bless the great Carl Weathers, who brought us a lot of joy, obviously, in that movie franchise in particular, but also some others as well.